the very pointy steeple of Hever Church in Kent, where Anne Boleyn's father is buried. That is the tomb there. Obviously the church floor has been raised at some point. You know, I've never really looked at his face very much. I don't know how many people really visit here and see the tomb of Anne Boleyn's father here. On the top is this big brass with the inscription, "Here lieth Sir Thomas Bullen." I do not think that the brass of Thomas Bullen was made in 1538-9, and I'm trying to prove or disprove that theory. Right, I'm really confused then about why is it called the Bullen Chapel? If the church warden's accounts, the earliest is from 1603, how actually do they know who built that chapel? Has it been renamed later on, the Bullen Chapel? This is a big mystery. There's some history of Hever here. So this is just a page on northernvicar.co.uk. So this is just some pictures they've got just of the church, and this is obviously the altar here. You've got the brass of Margaret Shaney, which is just here, and then the Boleyn tomb is just here, and the little grave to the brother of Anne Boleyn is here. This is the FamilySearch page for Hever. Parish registers begin in 1632. Okay, so early ones are lost, clearly. There is another little record that I found here. This is the Kent History and Library Centre, and it's got the Streatfeild manuscripts and correspondence. Thanks for the extracts from the parish registers, particularly as the early registers of both Hever and Cowden have disappeared since the extracts were made. So I'm really interested about these extracts and when they were made, as it's going to give us a date as to when the parish registers went missing. This article here from kentarchaeology.org.uk. What does it say about the Bullen Chapel? In 1465, Sir Geoffrey Boleyn, who owned the manor of Hever, was able to found a chantry. How do we know that, I wonder? I don't know what the record for that is. The northeast chapel, however, seems to have been built sometime after this, perhaps in the very early 16th century. The other thing I want to look at are records of Hever at the Kent History and Library Centre. So I was really interested about seeing when the floor raised up. This is under the Kent History and Library Centre. This is about the refurbishment, to reseat the organ in oak, provide new pavements. So this is, I think, when the floor was raised. Church registers, licences, properties, rates, accounts. I'm interested in the accounts because that might say if anything was done in the chapel later. So church wardens and overseers accounts, 1603 to 8 to 1623. So I think the next stop then on this is to visit the church archives in the Kent History Record Centre. I've written a couple of emails. The first one is to Kent Archives, just about the Hever records. I've had a brilliant, really helpful reply from the Archives Service Officer. Dr Helen Wicker sent me a great response here. Incredibly informative and valuable. It's a really amazing reply, right? They talk about the parish registers. Thomas Streatfeild's letter implies that Henry Streatfeild had a copy of the lost parish registers. So we know in 1742 to 1744 the Hever parish registers survived. Where did they go? Where did they go? You always think, I wonder if they're out there somewhere, don't you? Could they be out there somewhere? So with regards to the church's refurbishment in 1894, I'm afraid that there are no further records relating to the building work that was undertaken in this period within our collection. There is also a gap in the vestry minutes from 1872 to 1895. Oh, there's a gap. Right, so I've made a note of those documents. So if I get to the Kent History and Library Centre, I will have a look at those. I still don't believe that brass is from 1538 unless it was made by someone from Europe.
You can continue the story with the next edited episode. Or watch the full unedited and uncut version of this episode. Or what about watching this new family history story? Click here to subscribe to the channel to find out about all future episodes. Thanks for watching.